Spring evenings offer perfect weather, but premium outdoor spaces often sit completely empty the moment the sun goes down, lacking a central heat source. For a long time, bringing warmth to a backyard meant accepting the physical labor of a traditional campfire. You had to chop the wood, play musical chairs dodging stinging smoke, and scrub out wet morning ash. That physical effort directly clashes with the modern expectation of a backyard retreat. Most hosts want a seamless, resort-style lounge space where they can entertain friends without constantly tending to a flame. To find the right heating appliance, look at this sliding scale mapping the friction to ambiance ratio. On the left, maximum convenience. On the right, authentic ambiance. Placing your tolerance for physical effort onto this spectrum routes you directly into one of 5 distinct entertaining archetypes. The first archetype is the social entertainer. This is a host who prioritizes constant conversation and dining space over active fire management. The Bali Outdoors 42-inch propane table solves this priority. It runs on the standard propane tank, offering instant push-button ignition surrounded by a wide, dedicated surface for drinks and snacks. This cross-section demonstrates how the engineering supports a social setting. A sturdy glass wind guard blocks incoming breezes, while lateral vectors disperse a clean, smoke-free heat outward toward the guests. By relying on propane, the host gives up the deep, radiant heat of burning wood, but they gain an entirely friction-free gathering space. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the traditionalist archetype. The Yahitech 32-inch fire pit fits this model perfectly. Choosing this route requires accepting a heavy physical labor cost. You have to manually gather the wood, constantly manage a snap-on spark screen for safety, and scrub out the ash the next morning. The payoff for that labor is a massive 32-inch open burn. It fills the patio with intense radiant heat and a deep acoustic crackle that propane simply cannot replicate. Even though it demands the highest amount of physical effort, this budget-friendly option delivers the purest connection to an authentic, sensory campfire experience. Next is the atmosphere architect. This host shifts their primary focus away from raw heat output and toward dramatic visual projection. The Sunny Days 30-inch cosmic pit achieves this by pairing standard wood fueling with intricate laser-cut steel panels. As the wood burns, it projects a 360-degree ambient light show across the surrounding patio. Looking at this spatial blueprint, you can see the specific limitations of this unit. It requires a wide clearance radius in your yard, so the illumination effect actually has room to reach the ground. While this engineering establishes a strong visual centerpiece, it still relies on an open wood bowl. The host remains bound to managing smoke and cleaning out ash. Moving back toward the convenience side of the spectrum, we find the convenience nomad. This archetype prioritizes transportability and instant deployment above all else. This timeline tracks the deployment sequence for the outland living cypress. Connect a propane tank and achieve a full flame in 30 seconds. Its 19-inch footprint and lightweight form factor allows a host to seamlessly pack the unit into a vehicle for a campsite. Securing absolute location flexibility and zero cleanup means accepting a compromise. You have to reduce the physical scale of the fire and lower the total heat output. Finally, there is the performance optimizer. This buyer requires the authentic heat of a wood fire but refuses to tolerate blinding smoke. The Solo Stove Bonfire 2.0 provides the precise mechanical solution. It delivers a highly efficient wood burn with zero smoke. This wireframe shows the 360-degree airflow system. Cool air draws through base vents and feeds upward through the cylinder's double-wall construction. Exiting the top ring, it triggers secondary combustion, physically burning off smoke particles before they escape the bowl. Maintaining this smokeless environment comes with a hidden tax. Because the airflow is so efficient, the pit burns through a supply of dry wood significantly faster than a traditional bowl. The modern fire pit market has essentially split down the middle, forcing buyers to choose between 2 opposing engineering philosophies. This matrix weighs the options. On the left, you have the instant, low-heat convenience of push-button propane. On the right, you have the optimized authenticity and high wood consumption of smokeless technology. Rather than getting lost in raw product specifications, look at your own personal tolerance for the physical effort required to host an evening. Matching the correct fuel type to your specific lifestyle is the only way to successfully transform a cold, empty patio into a functional evening retreat. True luxury in outdoor living requires intentionally engineering your environment to remove the specific frictions that keep you sitting inside.